You've just come from Washington. What is the...
I'm from Washington. I'm here to help you.
What is the attitude of the Congress towards free trade agreements these days?
It's not very popular. It's not very popular because of all those political issues that I told you. It's not very popular because of the fear-mongering. But the Congress will pass the free trade agreements.
There are positive examples of what free trade agreements can do for other countries as well as the United States. Do people research this? Do they know about what's going on with Australia or
Of course
Chile?
not. Of course not. We're Americans. We don't have to research things. We know what we think. You know, it's always somebody else's fault. That's what's great about us until we finally recognize it's ours and then we go do something about it. Now, we have a serious problem with the Congress because it's a reflection of what people are saying and thinking about until it gets local. So let's come to Atlanta. UPS. How much of their business is outside the United States? More than half.
Right. More than half.
Coca-Cola. How much of their business is outside the United States?
More than 80%.
Right. Coke Industries. How much of their business is outside the United States?
A substantial amount.
Home Depot. How much of their business is going to be outside the United States? So the point is, when you say to those folks here in Atlanta, think of all the people that work for those companies here in Atlanta, managing, driving, supporting the global business of those companies. It's a massive amount of your employment here. And so when you talk to people like that, they say, well, of course we want to expand. Of course we want to sell in countries we aren't in. Well, the only way to do that, because we're a country with open markets, is to go out and negotiate trade agreements and open up other people's markets. That's what happened in NAFTA. That's what happened in the what we did in Central America. Massive improvements. That's what's happened with a lot of the trade agreements we're making around the world. And we only need to, we don't have to have a lot of votes. We just need one, you know, plurality plus one to pass the rest of these free trade agreements, because we're not giving anything up. We're getting every opportunity to go and sell into a market we weren't selling in sufficiently in the past.
You're confident about Colombia and Panama?
Yeah, for two reasons. First of all, they're very important deals, and we need to do them. Colombia and Panama each have a little sensitive issue. It's the old human rights argument in Colombia, which was very serious, but we're doing much, much, much better, and the government there is cracking down on the problems, and we're working with them, and we're all beating up on the drug trade. What they've done in the last number of years has been heroic. We need to support them. The issue in Panama is the issue around the president and some of his engagements in the past. He's going away after a while. We'll get that worked out. But and perhaps the most important one is Korea, because half of the global economy is now in Asia. And the Korean agreement is one that we can duplicate all over Asia, and it's very, very well done. You have to work out the meat issue, and that'll get done soon. And there are a few problems about automobiles, but I think most of that will resolve itself. We need those agreements. So now, can we get this Congress to vote for it? I hope on its merits, yes, but there's another reason I think we can get it done. Whoever gets elected president, whether a Republican or a Democrat, they don't want to deal with these issues, particularly a Democrat. And they're going to pass the word that says, we got to do those things. Never mind what we said, we got to do them. We negotiated them. Remember, they've been criticizing the president for not having good relations around the world. So what are they going to do? Cancel agreements that have been negotiated? I doubt it. They're going to tell these guys to get it done before we get there.
Are you concerned about constraints on competitiveness just generally?
Absolutely.
We saw that you have a global regulatory project. Could you tell us about that?
After you eliminate tariff barriers, some countries try and protect their competitive position by putting in place regulatory barriers. You know, gee, we'd love to buy your whatever the product is, but it just has the wrong label. Or we'd love to buy your product, but we can't because, you know, it doesn't have the right plug-in. Now, if you want to, you can set regulations up to block almost any trade issue. And so we're very familiar with doing that. We've been dealing with that all around the world. By the way, we do some of it ourselves, which you have to be very careful. So we're out on an issue dealing with foreign governments and the U.S. government to say if you make a deal, it's a deal. Let's get these markets open. You know what happens when you open markets? You create jobs in the domestic country. Do we need more jobs? Yeah, but we also need more people to fill those jobs.
How does the project itself work?
I'm leaving tomorrow to go on a trip that I'll eventually end up in Switzerland at the World Economic Forum, and one of the reasons I'm going is I'm one of the 2 advisors to the Transatlantic Business Dialogue. So what we do is through organizations like that and through direct work with, I'm giving Europe as an example, but we do a lot of other countries, with the EU and the individual domestic governments, we go in and raise these issues, look for ways to resolve them. We even have been known to sue people and to go in and have an exchange. They have things they want us to fix because we are very restrictive in our regulations here, and we have to be correspondingly helpful. But yeah, we're very engaged in that issue. Take away the barriers and we've got products people want to buy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great.